Okay, cool. I'm live. I'm going to tweet this out now. But yeah, YouTube. I'm a craft typer for those of you that are watching this later. Which is why this is taking me way longer than it should. Okay, so I'm going to start this. I um, I went to the con. Met a lot of people there, a lot of really great people. I got to spend a little more time with some people that I met in Nashville, which was really, really great. And gosh, I feel like I made lifelong friends this last weekend, which Nashville was great. Don't get me wrong, but this weekend was really amazing. Oh, that glare on my glasses is terrible. Well, I can't see without them, so we'll just have to deal with it, I guess. So it's really kind of difficult for me to put into words, even 3 weeks after the fact, why that weekend really meant as much to me as it did. And there's a video I made sometime earlier this year. I think it's called Stepping Out, where I talked about wanting to overcome my anxiety and engage more fully in the things that I love the most. And I have not done great with that this year, let's be honest. Um, but the con made it so easy. Everybody there was so accepting. Everybody there was so giving and caring and generous, not only with, I mean, not generous in the sense of, hey, buy stuff for other people necessarily, but generous with their time and generous with their caring. And you know, I got free T-shirts. I got free coins from the Shire Post Mint. I got free food from somebody who just said, "Hey, we're not going to eat this. Do you want it?" Sure. The food at the hotel was very expensive. Um, which leads me to my very first actual shout out, Zach from on Instagram. He's con.snow. This dude was very awesome. I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody who actually met him, but I'm not sure how to even exactly say it. So I missed a ride and I was stuck at the hotel. I live close by, so I didn't have a hotel room, and it was late, and my ride drank too much to drive. So I was stuck at the hotel, and he let me crash in his room, and that was, you know, and he didn't know me. I'm just some guy. Well, we met last year at in Nashville, and that was really cool. But it's very appreciated, man. It's very appreciated, and I hope I can return the favor to you someday. Um, and while I'm on my shout outs, I guess I'm going to say Shire Post Mint too. They're really cool people, and I travel for work quite a bit, so I um, I hope that maybe next time I'm in Arkansas, I can look them up and maybe have a coffee with them or something. That would be really cool. I'm sorry, I should pay attention to the camera more. I'm terrible at this, but that's all right. Learning curve. Um, next is Val from Because Geek. Probably the person I would call my con buddy this year is Val. She was the one that I had the best conversations with. Her and her fiance Graham, both top-notch human beings. Had a lot of, similar opinions to me. Of course, they're Canadian and I'm a Texan, so that's a little bit, there's a cultural difference there for sure, but just genuinely good people. You should, if you're not subscribed to Because Geek, you should be. She only puts out really, really top quality stuff. So love you, Val. Give Graham a kiss for me if you don't mind. I also got a shout out here. I'm just going to finish out Tarzan and James. And Chris, I missed you so much, buddy. I wanted you to be there. I really did. I understand you had real world stuff get in the way, but you know, you were missed. Just know that. And but Tarzan and James, man, two just cool dudes, ready to hang out, ready to party, ready to talk to anybody, really humble, really laid back. Um, James did a bunch of panels. Tarzan ran the trivia challenge, which was awesome, by the way. And if you haven't seen the pictures, you can see those pictures in LML's live stream that he did a couple of days ago. I showed those pictures on his live stream. And we celebrated James's birthday party. I'm actually wearing the tie-dye t-shirt I made to wear to James's birthday party. Yeah. We basically partied nonstop for 4 days, maybe 5 days. I don't know. We all went and saw Solo on Thursday night, and next thing I remember, it was Tuesday. But wow, what a weekend! It was great. I also got to do a panel with Val and Tarzan. It was called Remembering Ned Stark, and it was really about. It was meant to be a panel about ethics and morals and honor and the concepts that we apply to them and how that can shape the way we think about people, what we're willing to forgive of the people that we like, when we won't forgive somebody we don't like of the same type of actions. Anyway, I digress. I was really happy to have them there because it was sort of quote unquote my panel, and the moral support was much appreciated. Then also Aziz, Ashea, and Sean from History of Westeros. I've said it before, there is no sharper mind in the fandom than Aziz. And when he's got Ashea by his side, who is the best, by the way, they're untouchable. And Sean is unsullied, but he's so sharp that he brings a really interesting perspective every time he's on. I love it. And those are just the people that I met last year that I got to see again this year. And that's a pretty impressive list, but I met a lot of new people this year too. Oh, before I move on to that, I do want to talk about the other panel I did, which was with Val and Tony Teflon, and it was the Deadpool panel where we were predicting the deaths on season 8. It was fun. It was actually, I mean, of my two panels I did, it was the more fun of the two. I wasn't the one leading the discussion, and it wasn't nearly as controversial a topic. People are going to die, but it was a blast, and I really appreciate you guys. Let me do that panel with you. It was a lot of fun. But then the list of new people I met is even longer. And I've not made my video until now because I didn't want to leave anybody out. And at this point, 3 weeks on, I think I've written down everything I can remember. So I want to make sure I give my shout outs to the people in order of absolute coolness who I met for the first time. but that's not going to happen. So here it comes in just any random order. Yeah, I fooled you. I can't rate my friends by coolness. People I met this year who were awesome. And most of these people you're going to meet in, I guess we called it the Dragon Pit, where everybody was smoking. If you've watched any Con of Thrones coverage or if you were there, you've heard about the smoking area. It was a nonstop party there. It was a lot of fun. Holy cow. It was the type of place where you would walk into a circle because you saw somebody that you knew. Like, for instance, I would enter the circle because I know Aziz, and I would enter the circle because I saw Aziz. So I'm going to go over there and say hi to him. And then standing next to him is LML. Like, oh wow, this is unexpected, but should be totally expected because we're at the con. Um, but LML and his wife Elodia were both lovely human beings. They came to the barbecue that we had for James's birthday party. Um, he, that's an interesting guy, man. I mean, you listen to his stuff, and of course, he's very bright and he's very witty, as you can tell from what he writes. But when you get that guy relaxed a little bit, he's an interesting dude to talk to. I'm just telling you. Come to the con next year and find out. Also, Phil the Issues guy. Okay, if we are D&D characters, Phil is a bard. Period. He had this bag of instruments that he was carrying around, and when you first see somebody who's carrying around a bunch of instruments, sometimes you think they're trying to get attention, but Phil was passing out instruments for other people to play nonstop and just wanting to jam and talk and have a good time and discuss this thing we all loved called The Game of Thrones / The Song of Ice and Fire. It was so much fun. Ooh, is somebody actually watching this? I just now noticed. It looks like somebody's watching. Maybe they came in and out. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Um, I also met this guy called Quinn, Ideas of Ice and Fire, who I had heard of, but the fandom is big and it's tough to know everybody. But I met him through hanging out with LML, which is another, it's crazy how these things chain. And now I've been listening to Quinn's stuff about Dune, which is really, really interesting. It's trippy, man. I've only ever was familiar with the first book. Oh, hi, mom. Hilarious. Um, but then you totally threw me off my game, by the way. But yeah, I only read or not even read. I saw that old movie of Dune, but it was good. Next, okay, so James had his area, his house tie-dye area set up at a booth in the marketplace. And he shared that booth with Blaze Manga, Simon and Pedro, who also came to the barbecue. And very talented artists. You should look them up. Blaze Manga. They're quite good. And just like cool, laid back people. Oh, mom says was watching Cobra Kai and noticed I was live. Yeah, it's my first attempt at a live stream. It's going about as I thought it would. There's nobody here but my mother. Hilarious. But that's fine. It's Friday night with zero announcement time, and I have like 15 subscribers. So moving on. I did get to meet Joanna Robinson, who writes for Vanity Fair. I read a lot of her stuff. She's really smart and like she always has she's very eloquent. I found her through watching History of Westeros when they were doing a live stream. Um, I was quite impressed with her knowledge. I think it was the Jamie Lannister one. Anyway, she's a very very bright lady, and I unfortunately, due to my the schedule that I had to keep at the con, I only got to go to one panel that she was on, which was the first Great Debates, and it was a lot of fun. but I got to meet her there, and she signed my World of Ice and Fire book, and that was awesome. Okay, so then there were like the not famous people who I met who totally deserve their own shout outs. Okay, I'm gonna yell out Carol Brown and Nancy T. Carol Brown and Nancy T both helped on their own initiative to make sure that James's birthday party went as smoothly and as well as it could. Nancy brought extra food, which, hey, it never hurts to have extra food when you're having a party. And Carol Brown did the fake out, and oh, mom says I have 20 subscribers. I didn't even know. That's cool. Um, but Carol Brown played the bait and switch with James to keep him held back so we could get everything set up, and it went off without a hitch. There were some other people who we met at the con who were just so cool that I had to invite them to the barbecue. And there were several people who couldn't make it, obviously. But Jenna and Priscilla, both ladies, are local to the Dallas area. They both came by, and it was nice, to know that there's a couple other local super fans out there. Nancy T is local as well, which is why she was able to have fresh food prepared to come to the barbecue. It was really awesome. Um, but even from outside of Texas, I can talk. I promise. It's a thing I do every day. Uh, you had Nicole. She didn't make it to the barbecue, but I got to hang out with Nicole, aka Smokahontas. Um, Pretty cool, pretty interesting chick. I shouldn't use that word, should I? Anyway, roast me in the comments, whatever. But Rita, who flew in from Denver, Courtney, who flew in from Washington, D.C., Sarah, who flew in from Delaware, they all came to the barbecue, and it was, it was really awesome to have people of every description every time. Tony Teflon came to the barbecue. History of Westeros was there. Val, Graham, Tarzan, James. Um, yeah, but there were like 30 people there. I don't know. I can't remember them all, unfortunately. There are pictures floating around the internet somewhere, I'm sure. But I also want to give a couple extra shout outs here. I barely got to talk to McCall or Vanessa Cole, two ladies who I both admire what they do within the fandom. Um, and every time I turn around, I find out things about people I didn't know. I mean, I'm guilty. I am not as familiar with Watchers on the Wall as I should be. Not nearly. Okay, I have homework. But Vanessa, I knew you as an artist only. Let's just say that. But hey, you learn, you move on, and I'm even more impressed. Let's just say that. And Sanrixian, I you know what you're doing for me, and I can't wait. And McCall, McCall Sheck, I think I'm saying your name right. I love the voices you do on History of Westeros. Aziz Ashea, don't ever get rid of her. She's perfect. I don't want this to drag on too much. It's already been 20 minutes. For anybody who watches this later, come to the Con of Thrones next year. It was so much fun. You will, it's a party happening at the same time as a literary conference, as the same time as a fashion show. It's really, really, really fantastic. And I kind of want to do a video later talking about some trends I noticed when talking to people at the con. So at least I have an idea for another video. This has been as successful as I could have hoped. At least my mom showed up to support me. And that's it for me, though, for now. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.